Okay, on Cynthia's other hive, they've been proven to be a little nasty. They've followed her for what, a good hour. Waited on her. Yeah, so because of that, and just because of the sheer numbers of worker bees that are inside that hive, we are going to do a push-in style cage. This allows the queen to actually start laying on the frame, and because it's a deep, we are going to use a nice good size push-in. But basically what this is the hardware cloth with the corners turned so that we can make a very thin cage to trap her in. So we're going to find a nice comb in there, and I'll show you that comb here in just a minute, and then we're going to push this in, and I'll show it to you all finished, but this is the idea behind it. This little thing right here is actually the top part of a JZBZ plastic queen cage. Sorry, I didn't have it with me. So this part here, right there, I just break it off and I use it here. And what I'm going to do real quick is going to fill it with some candy. And when I'm finished filling it with candy, and my candy is just basically powdered sugar and honey, and you don't want to make it too sticky where the queen sticks in it and dies. So you have to be very careful on the candy. So we're going to fill this with candy, and then we're going to put a little painter's tape around the bottom to slow the bees down from eating the candy out too fast. And this gives the queen time to lay. And we're going to choose spots on the frame that have nice, clean, open cells so that she can start laying. And we're also going to choose some spots that have some nectar in it, honey in it, so that if the bees don't take care of her, she can at least have a few things, some things to eat. And oh, and then we're going to use a little bit of aluminum foil, and we're going to cover a little section of it. That way the queen can get, if she's being irritated or attacked by any of the worker bees, and believe me, they will chew even her feet off sometimes. If they do anything like that, she can actually get into an area where she can get protected and have a little peace and quiet away from the worker bees if she needs it. And to secure, so this is secured on the frame, and just to make sure everything's on there nice and tight, we're going to use some rubber bands also. So you're going to see that here coming right up. Okay, here we go. As you can tell by all the bees around us, we opened her double deep, and I was shaking off frames again, looking for queen cells. So on this side we got one here. There's number 2. And again, just destroy them. Just absolutely destroy them. Even if you're not sure if they're just practice cells, still knock them down. Don't keep them. We're going to get rid of even the practice cells. There's another one hiding right there, right next to the drone brood. Again, we're going to take that down. And if you give me a second, I'm going to look inside down low here. I'm going to look in the sides and any of the holes. And I'm also going to look for ones that are flat with the comb to see if any of them have any signs of royal jelly in them. Okay, I'm going to call that one good. There you go, Cynthia. This one has a nice lot of pollen, but it has some like little practice cells. Again, I'm going to take those down. Like anything that just looks a little odd, pinching it off. It's another one. Okay, one other thing that you can do with the cages is you can pull the cork plug out and then make it dark. Hold your hand completely around it so just the light is shining through the cork plug, and the bees will start coming out right there if you want to not open it and have to put the that was a pain in the butt, to put the staple back in. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're actually taking out all the attendants, and we want to just get down to the queen. We don't want to leave any of the attendants in the push-in cage, and we don't want to get any bees from the hive into the push-in cage. We just want it to be her. So that's coming up next. Okay, it was kind of difficult to find a nice empty frame of clean cells, but we found some that have some sealed brood emerging, which is perfect. She was actually just, you could see her running around in here. She was actually just eating some honey. She had her head stuck inside of one of the cells, sucking up some nectar actually. So she's having a blast. I think she's pretty happy to have a little bit more room. She'll be even happier when she's got the entire hive. But the last thing we're gonna do, and see right here's my candy plug, along with a little painter's tape. And you wanna make sure that all around the edges is nice and secure. And then I also add some more rubber bands just in case. And then what we're gonna do yet is we're gonna put some aluminum foil underneath here, like I said, just so that she has some privacy. Okay. Okay, we've got her in here. Again, like I said, we have to be very cautious for the next 25 days to make sure that we don't disturb this hive very much. You can see which frame she's on. And if you didn't use the rubber bands or used a smaller, just a real quick, a smaller push-in cage without the candy or anything like that, and you're worried about being able to see it, you could put an X. I use solid markers. I just put an X on which frame that she's on, or if you put the cage down real low and you want to check on the cage, again, you can mark which frame. Otherwise, if you just kind of take a peek looking straight down, you can usually tell where the cage is without pulling out all the frames. Again, you just want to do very minimum irritation to the hive. You don't want to get them too upset. These Africanized hybrids are really easy to get excited.